Hey guys, Super Godzilla Final Wars here, and today I'm back once again with another video. Today, this is going to be a very interesting video, because as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be explaining on why I do not do what do I expect in these movies. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be wondering, why don't I do these what I expect in this or that? Well, there's actually a pretty damn good reason why I don't do them. Let's go all the way back into Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now actually, now that I truly think about it, let's go back even further than that. Let's go all the way back in 2017. Now, you may remember that when I was a lot younger than I was at the time, that I absolutely praised the anime Godzilla movies. I loved the Earth Godzilla movies, and I declare them to be the best Godzilla movies, and I flat out ignored what people were saying on YouTube. But as time went on, and as I got older, I realized that the Earth Godzilla trilogies were kind of bad. And apart from the first one, the first Earth Godzilla movie is still the best one in my honest opinion. Mostly because, well, it actually tried to be a Godzilla movie for a change. Unlike the other two movies, which honestly didn't feel like Godzilla movies to me. But you may not have noticed this, but at the time, I actually did had expectations for this movie. I expected all the classic Toho kaiju to be featured in this movie, but they never showed up. Not one classic Toho kaiju was shown, or even mentioned in the movie. But instead, they were only mentioned in the novelization of these three movies. Another reason is Godzilla City on Edge Battle. I hope that City on Edge Battle will be a huge improvement over for the first movie, and that they would show the kaiju. A lot more kaiju, and even showing the epic battle scene between Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. And hell, even show Mothra. And I hope that Yuko will survive in the movie. But instead, look how that turned out. And you already know what I'm going to say for the third movie, so I'm not even going to try. Now, what about another movie? Like Godzilla, King of the Monsters. What about that movie? Did I have any expectations for that movie? Kind of, actually. Yes, believe it or not, I kind of had expectations for Godzilla, King of the Monsters. What I expect to see in this movie was, well, I expected to see some classic Toho kaiju appearing besides the iconic three. Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah. I expected to see at least Anguirus or Baragon. And I expected more fight scenes between Godzilla and King Ghidorah, and honestly, despite me not being a huge fan of her at the time, I expected Millie Bobby Brown, who played as Madison, in the movie, I expected her to be the main character, but instead she was the side character. Instead, she was the character who basically was the cause to bring Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan to Boston and have that epic battle scene. And look how that turned out. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Godzilla King of the Monsters. Don't get me wrong. I still love that movie. So, obviously, I did not have any expectations for the... At this point, my expectations, like what I expect, were now becoming very low at this point. At this point, I was just like, okay, what's the point of even hoping for this to happen if it's not even going to happen? Now, when it came to Godzilla vs. Kong, there were only two things that came true. Only two. And they were mostly due to because of, well, the director wanting those things to happen. Let's start with number one. Millie Bobby Brown becoming the main character. Well, kind of. Well, while it is true that she did become a main character in this movie, I'm gonna admit, I found her character in this movie to be somewhat wasted, honestly. And honestly, I expected more from Madison. I expected Madison to truly carry out of being like, I don't know, maybe like a character who has like, maybe like a similar connection that Miki Sakusa has with Godzilla in the Heisei films. Yeah, I kind of hoped that was going to be a thing for Godzilla vs. Kong. I thought that somehow, thanks to Mothra's powers, she would have some form of a psychic connection to Godzilla. And that she can telepathically communicate with him. And send out messages or something like that. The second thing that I expected in the movie was a team-up. And once again, this happened mostly due to because of the director, Adam Wingard, wanting there to be a team-up. So, I'm going to say this. Those two things don't count. They do not count at all. Because if they are something that a director wants to happen, then they don't really count at all. So, yeah. Now, what about Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire? Well, I expected the film to focus on both Godzilla and Kong. And I just expected, like, at least Godzilla just have new powers, newfound abilities. Just everything I expected in Godzilla X Kong, once again, was for nothing. Just that, and I expected the return of Madison Russell, but she does not return. She does not return. I think she is mentioned. I think I could be wrong, but there was this scene in Bernie's office where his computer had Madison's name. I don't know if that counts as a reference or a mention, but I don't know. And look how that turned out. And of course, Godzilla Minus One. I expected the second Godzilla to appear in the movie. I was hoping that the natural Godzilla would appear, and that we could finally have a Godzilla versus Godzilla movie. And look how that turned out. Don't get me wrong, that movie is still great regardless. Regardless if the second Godzilla is included or not, that movie is still the best Godzilla movie out there. Besides the Godzilla movies, I expected Transformers Rise of the Beast to introduce the Predacons and more of the Maximals. Look how that turned out. I expected the Jurassic World Dominion and to truly show the consequences of dinosaurs living on the mainland. And of course, where's the Spinosaurus and T-Rex team up. Look how that turned out. At this point, I don't do what I expect in these movies because my expectations will be disappointed. And I have no real reason to explain why. Because in the end, I'm gonna be disappointed. Because the things that I kind of expect to happen in these movies aren't really gonna happen. Rather in really good ways, like Godzilla Minus One, because that movie is still great regardless, like what I said before. Or in really bad ways, like Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Or Jurassic World Dominion. Or heck, even Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Godzilla X Kong, and Godzilla vs. Kong. So, there you go. There's the reason why I don't do expectations for these movies. Because, in the end, yeah, at this point, you already know that I'm just going to be disappointed regardless. I don't know why people do them in the first place. I think they just do them for fun, or they just want to explain what they expect to see in the movies. But in the end, they're going to be disappointed when they come to find out that the expectations that they hoped would not come true. But yeah, there you guys go. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me in the comments below what do you think about this video. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.